It's probably the worst kept secret at this point, but I am opening a card store. Not everything is set up yet, but I figure in this video, I can give you guys a tour of the space. We can talk a little bit about how everything is set up, what my plans are for each spot, and what I hope to get done before I open, fingers crossed, on June 1st. All right, let's start with the tour. So obviously we have to have our display cases. So what's gonna go in these displays are gonna be slabs, it's gonna be higher value singles, probably singles like $10 or more. The rest will be in binders, and then packs. So I'm hoping to have a bunch of English packs when I open and a bunch of Japanese packs when I open. So I figure one of the cases is gonna be an English case, one of the cases will be Japanese, but this was a massive pain in the butt. So I just built these a day or two ago, and this one, totally fine. Put it together, has the shelves, has everything it needs. This one showed up without the internal shelving. So I didn't get any of the brackets. I didn't get the little wings that hold the shelves. So I have to reach back out to the company and hopefully they will send me that shelving in a decent time frame so that it doesn't hold me up too much. So this thing on the end is what's called a register stand. I'm not gonna have a register. I'm gonna use Square basically to take care of all of my transactions. And I have a little like Square puck thing that can take credit cards. I'm hopefully going to upgrade to one of those actual terminals at some point, but for now, I think I'll do okay with just using the Square. Now, I was a little worried about having my register close to the door, but my thought was kind of the flow of traffic. As you can tell, this place is pretty small. You'll see that when I show you the other side of the room as well. You guys are on the other side of the room, so it's not a lot of space, but I wanted to look for something small and kind of cheaper as like a starter store. And I feel like I still have enough space. One thing that's great about cards is you can put a lot of value in not a lot of space. I'm hoping that I outgrow this in a year and I can move on to a bigger space. But for now, I think this is perfectly sized for what I'm looking for. I was a little worried about having the register stand at the front of the store because the register stand is also going to have some things that you probably would want to keep away from the door. So one thing that I worried about a little bit was the flow of traffic. So like I said, it's a small space. So what I'm hoping for is when people walk in, they will do kind of a look-see, and then they'll see some binders on this side over here. And then we'll have trading card, accessories, top loaders, sleeves, and plushies over here. And then they will either leave or they will come back over here and check out. My thought is to kind of keep people moving in like a circular motion. So one thing that's gonna be really cool is you can see there's like a tiling on this wall. Now, I'm not huge on the tiling. It looks all right, but I've already purchased a large banner that has my logo on it. So when people walk in, the first thing that they're gonna see is the cases, but then they're gonna see a big banner on that wall that covers all those tiles that has my logo on it. The shop itself is not gonna be called JavaAkuma, it's gonna be called Java's Cards and Collectibles. That should be a good way still to tie in my username, but to differentiate it as a physical location instead of like an online store or something like that. All right, so now we're facing the other side of the store. So you guys are now on the register stand and we're facing the other side of the store. So you can see I just have shelving units. So one thing about this space is that it is a historic building. Way back in the day, this building was a bank, old bank, and actually my storage room used to be a vault. So we'll take a look at that in a second because it's pretty cool. But that means that a lot of the walls are either concrete or brick. A lot of the walls can't actually be renovated because it is a historic building. So I have some limitations on what I can do with the walls. A lot of you guys might be thinking, why didn't you do slat wall? Because either I would have to get freestanding slat wall units or I wouldn't be able to do slat wall because I can't attach the slat wall to the walls. So instead I got shelving units that are 18 inches deep. So they're a little bit thinner than the ones I have in my office. I feel like they don't take up as much space, but still can be flush to the wall. So we've got these two units. These two units I am going to use for binders. So what I thought would be cool is basically you have maybe an English and a Japanese binders so that multiple people can look at binders at the same time. My initial thought was just have this one for binders and then have that for these two for plushies and accessories. But then I remembered I used to have a store location that only had one 4-foot tabletop. And there were a lot of times when people were kind of stacked up waiting to look at all the binders when I had like 4 or 5 binders for people to look at. So I think what the better use of the space, especially based on the inventory that I'll have when I start, is to have both of these be for binders. So I'll probably have English binders, Japanese binders. Now we have this shelf. So this shelf is going to be for plushies, which I've already ordered a bunch, and card accessories. So I'll be doing penny sleeves, I'll be doing different ETB sleeves, and I will be doing, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's, we're in the basement of a building, of a historic building. So I actually have the ductwork, the AC unit, and the heat unit in my building right behind my register stand. I figure I have these baskets. I'll put the plushies in these baskets, especially the smaller ones. I bought 4 of these that fit the length of the shelf or the depth of the shelf. And then on top here, I will do top loaders, penny sleeves, ETB sleeves, or cool looking sleeves from Japan or stuff like that we will put here. I do want, I'll have to run some electric because my outlets are on the 2 side walls. I don't have any power on this wall. So what I'll have to do is I'll run some sort of electric around to here because I want to put a TV up here. One of the things that I really want to do is feature or have, you know, different friends live streams. So whenever Chef is live streaming, whenever Pong is live streaming, they can be live in the store. I also want to do my own lives from the store. So do maybe one night a week where the store is just live. I'm just operating as the store, but you guys can kind of look in and I'll occasionally look at chat and we'll do some content with the store. But I want to have a TV up here because I want to be able to either feature friends, podcasts, and live streams, or I want to be able to, you know, put the Pokemon anime or something on, or just have the flexibility to be able to put some stuff on. Like I don't want to miss the football games when football starts up in the fall. So hopefully I'll be able to put a lot of that stuff up on the TV. One other thing that I haven't quite figured out the situation with is bulk. So I don't want to really do bulk at all. But one thing that I did in the other store that was pretty decent was I had commons, uncommons, rares, supporters, stuff like that of the newest sets that I would always kind of sort out bulk. Then I would have that available in a 5-row. Usually it was like 4 for $1, 5 for $1, something like that, but it helped people in the area fill out their decks with the different bulk and the different supporters. So I'm hoping to talk to potential streamer friends. If you're a streamer friend and you open, you know, the new sets and you can just fill up a priority mailbox with unsorted bulk and ship it out to me whenever the new set comes out and you've done some rips, that would be incredible. That would massively be supportive for me. Obviously I would pay for it. We would just use standard bulk rates or we would figure something out, but that would be super helpful because I do feel like people in the area like to have the bulk to be able to complete their decks. I do want to say, as you guys know, I focus on Japanese. The problem with that is a lot of people in the local area, if you go to local shows, if you go really anywhere in the local area, you're not going to see a lot of Japanese cards. And if you specialize in Japanese, it's going to be a little tougher for you. So recently I spent quite a bit of money buying up some English singles from a local vending friend, and that was great. I think I have a good start on some singles and a binder for the store, but I'll always be searching for kind of the newest sets. If you guys have, I know a lot of you guys grade and flip just like I do. If you have any grading misses from some of the newest sets and you want to sell them off for 75, 80%, I know that you can find better percentages elsewhere, but that's kind of what I would be paying because I would be, you know, 100% in the store or whatever for TCG Player or last sold eBay prices. It's always good to have options for the newest sets. So English, especially Japanese, I would definitely appreciate it if you guys wanted to reach out and help supply the store with some of those recent set hits, some of those grading misses that are still near mint that I would be able to put out for near mint in the store. We have to go mobile for this, but this is the vault. So as you can see, the vault door is a literal metal vault door. You see I have all the duct work here. That's what's making that noise right now. But what's nice is I have this storage room here in the back. It's probably about the same size as the actual store area, and it just has a bunch of my crap in it right now. If I line the walls in here with different shelving units, then it should work out really well for a storage room. Lastly, I want to show you guys what I think my biggest struggle is going to be for the business, and that is getting people in the door. And here's why. This building is on the same block as the place where I used to sell, and it's a great block. The problem is we're on the back side of the block instead of the front side of the block. There's not really a whole lot of through traffic, and this is all parking back here, which is great. We have a lot of parking, but the struggle is going to be getting people to come from the main area, which is one block up, which is up there, to come down this alleyway and to see my store, which is back here. So my initial thought is I bought a sandwich board. Apparently I'm allowed to put a sandwich board on that block up there. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna point them, or at least say on the sandwich board that the location is in the back, and then hopefully put some signage out, you know, some of those yard sale signs or realty signs. And then lastly, I'm hoping to put a sign here that says Pokemon cards or something fairly generic, so that when people are directed down the alleyway, they'll turn and they'll see Pokemon cards, and then they'll know to come in here. And then you walk in and this is your first impression. Like I said, it's a pretty small space, but I think it's perfect for a little starter store. It's not too expensive, and we'll see how it goes. I'm signed in for a year. We'll take this year, we'll do our best. We'll see where we're at by the end of it. Obviously, I'm gonna try to keep up with the content schedule, but this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I'm gonna do my best, but it's gonna be a lot. And obviously my content is going to change. This channel has always been about cataloging my journey and my business, and therefore this is a huge change to my business. So hopefully you guys are as excited as I am to take this journey through my content and my hopeful success in this store. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here, and I will have a new video out hopefully soon.